At last, Tunde reached his family's compound, where he was greeted by his father with open arms. Overwhelmed with emotion, Tunde fell to his knees before his father, begging for his forgiveness and his love. And in that moment, Olu embraced his son, tears of joy streaming down his face, and he welcomed him home with a grateful heart full of grace. Once upon a time, in a vibrant village, there lived a man named Olu. He was a respected elder in the community. He was known for his wisdom, generosity, and kindness. Olu had two sons, Ade and Tunde, who grew up under his loving guidance, learning the ways of their ancestors and the importance of family bonds. Ade, the elder son, was diligent and responsible young man. He shared his father's value and worked tirelessly on their family land. He took pride in his work, taking care of the fields of cassava, yams, and vegetables that sustained their household and provided for their neighbors. Tunde was the younger son. He possessed a restless spirit and a thirst for adventure. Unlike his brother, he longed to explore the world and beyond. He longed to explore outside the confines of their village and was eager to seek his fortune in the bustling city. Despite his parents' warning, Tunde was so eager to leave the village and go explore the city. One day, unable to resist the call of adventure any longer, Tunde made a bold step by leaving his family behind and moving to the city. Despite Ade's plea for him to stay, Tunde was determined to walk his own path, even if it meant leaving behind everything he had ever known. In the city, Tunde was dazzled by the bright lights and the promise of opportunity that surrounded him. He quickly fell into a life of excess, squandering his money on lavish parties, extravagant clothes, and gambling dens. But as the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Tunde soon found himself alone and penniless, his dreams of success crumbling before his eyes. Meanwhile, back in the village, Ade worked tirelessly to support his family in Tunde's absence. He worked with determination and dedication and prayed fervently for his brother's safe return. Despite the pain of Tunde's departure, Ade remained steadfast in his love and his faith, trusting that one day they would be reunited. Days passed and Tunde's life in the city became sour. It turned into chaos and despair. He found himself homeless, hungry, and haunted by the memories of his past mistakes. Desperate for a way out, Tunde resolved to return to his family and seek for their forgiveness, hoping against hope that they would welcome him back with open arms. So with a heavy heart and a sense of deep shame, Tunde embarked on the long journey back to his village. Along the way, he reflected on the choices he had made and the consequences of his action. Realizing the depth of his mistake and the pain he had caused his loved ones. Finally, after many days of travel, Tunde arrived at the outskirts of his village. His spirit was weary and tired, but he was so determined to reconcile with his family. As he made his way through the family streets, he was filled with a mix of anticipation and fear, unsure of how his family and his community would receive him after his long absence. At last, Tunde reached his family compound, where he was greeted by the sight of his father Olu, waiting for him with open arms. Overwhelmed with emotion, Tunde fell to his knees before his father, begging for his forgiveness and his love. And in that moment, Olu embraced his son, tears of joy streaming down his cheeks, and he welcomed him home with a heart full of grace. Words quickly spread throughout the village of Tunde's return, and soon the entire community gathered to celebrate his homecoming. There was feasting and dancing in the streets, as friends and neighbors rejoiced at the reunion of father and son. For Tunde, it was a moment of redemption and renewal, a chance to start anew and rebuild his life with the love and support of his family by his side. In the days that followed, Tunde walked side by side with Ade, his elder brother, on the family farm, rediscovering the joy and fulfillment that came from honest labor and shared responsibility. Together, they planted new seeds of hope and forgiveness, nurturing their relationship and their shared dreams for the future. As time passed, Tunde's presence brought new life and energy to the village, inspiring others to embrace the values of love, forgiveness, and community. He became a beloved member of the community, known for his kindness, humility, and unwavering faith in the power of redemption. But despite his newfound happiness, Tunde never forgot the lessons he had learned during his time away. He carried the memories of his past mistakes with him as a reminder of the importance of humility and gratitude. Years passed and Tunde grew old alongside his family and his fellow villagers. His days filled with laughter, love, and the simple joy of a rural life. And as he looked back on his journey from prodigal son to beloved member of the community, Tunde knew that his greatest treasure was not found in the riches of the world, but in the boundless grace of God and the love of his family. And so, in the end, the story of Tunde served as a powerful testament to the transformative power of redemption, the enduring strength of family bonds, and the boundless grace of God. It was a story of hope and forgiveness, a second chance, and the unbreakable spirit of the human heart. For in the end, it is love that heals our wounds, forgiveness that sets us free, and faith that lights the paths back home.